Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. For the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Rules could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So we do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes, help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing. Really important when we're dealing with a person that has a lot of spiritual blockages. They get in their own way. They self-sabotage. Hey, Daniel. How you doing? Hope that you're having a good night so far tonight. So anyway, anything or any importance or relevance to the channel you can find in the description box. All right. And we're going to jump in. I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm going to jump in, and then right after, I will, if you have any questions or anything, I will answer your questions. Thanks for being here. Now, didn't know I was coming on tonight. All right, let's see what the word of the video is. Hey, Mose. All right, let's see. The word of the video is maliciousness. Automatically I feel like this person was a shit, like deliberately, tried to get underneath your skin, deliberately tried to do things to trigger you. I think they wanted you to chase them. But the thing is, that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is that it's like they just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Almost like, again, they wanted you to react, is what I'm feeling. Like underhandedly, and I don't feel like this person has very good character. So again, anxiety and worry. So they have anxiety and worry now because, again, they didn't treat you well. And I knew it because we pulled shame. So this person, I feel like they really had feelings for you, but they didn't want to be transparent. They didn't want a monogamous relationship. They didn't want to act like it was serious. So their way was to play, but they pushed it to the extreme. And I feel like, because again, they really felt like, oh, you're really into me. I could tell you're really into me. You like me. So you're going to react. Let's look and see what the hidden truths are. It's almost like they pushed it to the point that it snapped. So now they have anxiety, but let's see what else. What are the hidden truths? I lost myself for a while. So I feel like this person didn't really think about what they were doing. It just got to a place almost like a competition is what I feel like. And time passed by and they didn't really think you were going to let go. They thought it was going to be temporary. You came closer than anyone. So a few times this person almost caved in to reach out, but I feel like they don't like to be that person that shows emotion because they hide behind material things. So they don't feel good about themselves. And we know that because person doesn't play this many games. They play games and they want people to chase them so that they feel important. People don't do that when they feel good about themselves. We both know I'm not the one for you. Again, this person knows that you're of a higher vibration. So let's see. Again, the entire relationship was turbulent, and it's because they need to heal really unresolved conflicts, with past relationships. That's really what it is. And that's the thing. So they came into the relationship with unresolved conflicts, fears around relationships. So this is just a tactic that they do to keep the relationship from not getting too serious, and also so they get their needs met. hidden thorns. So again, the entire time you had to look, like you could tell that this person had hidden intentions, and you just didn't understand why they had the hidden intentions. Well, again, past relationships. So what are they doing now? Well, I feel like this person has, like, again, like you shattered their self-image, number one. You know, they like to be seen as like perfect, you know, like, and only people that have shame do that. People that feel inadequate, people that don't feel good enough. So again, it's like whatever happened, like however, like I really feel like this person really thought that you were a sure thing. And just because maybe you played along for a while, I don't know why they were so confident, or just because this is their tactic and it normally works, you know? And so the thing is, it's like when didn't play along, they really thought that it was a game. Now, like I said, it's like, wait a minute, you detached, you let go. It's like, again, that I'm not all that. They really thought you were like in love with them. So like whatever, it brought out a lot of this person's inner child wounds of feeling inadequacy, you know, like I feel like they're criticizing themselves. I feel like they think that you criticize them, and which you probably do, because again, they feel inadequate. And because people don't make people chase them. So again, when we see what are they doing, I don't really see them doing anything except for a lot of repetitive cycles, like repeating like the same thing. Like this person, like I said, just kept doing the same thing, thinking that eventually you would cave. Eventually you would, compromise yourself, is what I feel, because of their past relationships. And so it's almost like this person knows, like the rose colored glasses of how you see them is like you don't see them the same way. That's what this person feels because of their repetitive cycles. But understand what you did feel is this person did have a lot of chemistry for you, but they wish that they can turn back the clock and do things over, because there still is a passion and a desire. However, this person just like gets involved with a lot of other people. So they always have someone lingering, and someone that's going to fight for them, someone that's going to compromise themselves. So again, anyone that's with this person knows that this person doesn't want to be monogamous. So whoever puts up with that is a lower vibration, and lower vibrational people want to control this person, which is why they don't want a committed relationship, by the way, because they don't have good relationships. They have toxic relationships because they don't communicate. They play games. They deliberately do things to get underneath your skin, which means create drama, create unnecessary drama to get what they want. And with it, when it's a lower vibration person, they think that it's cute. They think it's like, oh, it's all play. It's play. And that's not how you were playing it. You were like, no, it was actually like pissing you off. And I think that they didn't think that. And then they pushed it, but that would mean that they would have to come back and apologize. And so the thing is, you didn't do that. You're actually teaching this person. You're actually teaching this person by not, get caving in. It's almost like this person, I just feel like they're on a lower vibration. So the best that you can do, because we know that they're not coming back and we understand why they did what they did. And again, as long as they have a lower vibrational person, like lingering, people on the back burner, no one important, just placeholders that are willing to fight for them and, do all the work in a relationship, well, then they're not going to go anywhere. And so you have to say, why did I attract this loser? And like, again, because really that's what they are. It's like there's someone that doesn't really want to commit. They're one-sided. Um, And so again, we're a mirror of what comes into our life. So you can say, I'm not shady. I don't deserve this, right? I'm glad, still wet, intuitive. Okay, so card number one, wonder. We look at the inner child wound cards to see where those karmic themes, what is the karmic theme that continues to play out? Or what is the wound, or what is the gift? Really, shadows don't just bring out, cover wounds. Sometimes there are gifts and talents play. Abuse, discipline, support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more. Outdoors in nature. So we always look to see where that fragmentation is, and where it is obviously abuse. Abuse, if there's no support, that could be psychological, it could be emotional, it could be any type of support. But like, this person looks pretty, thank you. But if we see this card, understand it's because this person has psychological, emotional abuse, some sort, to the point that there was a lack of groundedness. There was a lack of a connection to like people and the world. Because if the parent was the abusive parent, like if the parent was abusive, then that's the first person that taught you about people and the world. So I mean, you were very like timid and shy, and so you didn't really go out and explore. And I say that because, again, the wonders of the world, the wonders in you, what stirs up your soul. Well, you find that when you go out and play. You go that when you go out and find yourself, and understand, if there was kind of like no support, you were limited in what you were going to try, what you were going to do, how interactive you would be, because you might not have had a ride to get there, to come back, the financial support. There's a sense of like neglect, because again, the lack of support. And so when there is a lack of support, there's a lack of discipline, because, well, who keeps a child on track? Their parents, right? It's, again, who is that parent that like takes their kid to soccer practice once a week, and is that dedicated parent that's interactive in their child's life? Maybe your parents worked and they couldn't do that. Maybe they didn't want you to join after school activities. They wanted you to come home. There seemed to be some sort of stagnant energy there, where you didn't go out and play. And the thing is, like I said, when we go out and play, that's when we find ourselves. We don't say, oh, well, I'm going to go out and play today, and today we're going to do this. We might have an idea that we may call for somebody. That's as far as it went as a kid. I'm going to go call for my friend Bob, or I'm going to go my friend Mary. I'm going to take my bicycle. What are you going to do? I don't know. We don't know. But then the day is an adventure. You get an idea, and then that one thing leads to another. It wasn't planned. It's like you used whatever was in your environment to create yourself, really. And so you're being asked to do that again, to go out and play, because you don't know the wonders in you, the wonders of the world, the things that stir up your soul. To go out and play. Passion for life is associated with play. When you attract a person like that, that's so, like, again, low vibration. Spirit says, you don't even know who you are 100%. This energy is still very much there on the subconscious mind, which is, I don't trust. And Spirit says trust comes from trusting yourself, not from trusting anyone. Because only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut, intuition, inner knowing. And if you're going out and playing, you're going out and finding yourself, you're not so close up to the picture. And then you're also fulfilled, where your cup is overflowing, that you don't have a problem with your boundaries. I'm sorry, I can't see you tonight because I have other things going on. You have to train a person on how you want to be treated. And so Spirit's saying is, if you grew up without the support, you were just grateful to have someone in your life. Again, so I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated. And Spirit says, you weren't treated nice and your cup is empty. So you're not even giving a cup to that person. You gave away the entire pitcher of iced tea. Now you don't have anything to drink. And Spirit says, it's like you can't tell how balanced you are, second chakra in balance. It's again, when we don't have balance, I can't tell whose energy is whose. I have feeling for this person. Again, but Spirit says, yeah, but that's what you wanted them to be. Yes, there was a soul connection, but you saw what you wanted to see, because the true trusting. And why? Because, hey, that was passion, that was excitement. So who wouldn't want to? Who wouldn't want to? The Spirit says that's normal, but you always have to fill your own cup up. And Spirit says, so now you have the deep wisdom. That's how you learn, because, Earth is a school where you get the tests first, to learn the energy of love, Warrior of light, again, Spirit says, find your passion. Use your passion to fight for what you believe in. Stand your ground, because other people will want to use your energy for what they want to utilize it for. So if you don't have a passion, you don't have a focus. And then emotionally, it would be easy for someone to manipulate you that you had a very, strong connection to, because you're giving them that much. Where Spirit says you get balanced through that. That's how you have a relationship with the universe. Because when you're again creating yourself, finding yourself in the passions of your life, the universe conspires to bring you the people, the situations, and the experiences that are not only going to change your mind and your heart to help you heal, but also going to help create yourself, to help manifest, to help you get there the way that you can get there. Because maybe maybe you have a learning disability, or maybe you have like some disability that you feel like, well, I can't really do that. And Spirit says, if you can imagine it, you can create it. You're not in charge of how we get there. You're only in charge of what you want to create, which means you have to be very grounded in the passion. Otherwise, if we're not having a good time, why do you want to even be present? It's like daydreaming is an escape. But if we're loving our life and loving what we do, then we don't need to do that. Spirit saying, so that was missing. And that would happen if your parents were like, you got to go to college, you got to do this, now you got to get a job, you become part of like the world. And Spirit says you're allowed to be in the world, but you're not allowed to become a part of the world, because the world is not a nice place. And again, to manifest, you have to be in the energy of love, abundant and open. So Spirit says, remember, and that's in the passion for life, what you do, because you can't control people, but you can control you. And by that, it's your focus. That's what that poem Footprints is about. Facing your fears, that you can face your fears, because guess what? You're not staring at them. You're staring out with your passion. And if, again, something happens that you need, your intuition is going to call to you. Again, only in the moment, in the now, when you're focused on something else. And how do you know it's intuition? Because there's a call to action right after it. So it's not the mind chatter. So a lot of times people don't trust themselves because they're like, I don't know what I feel. So let me go get a reading. And Spirit says, you have the gift inside of you. So it's again getting a better connection to the physical body, the grounding part. And that's again through everything we're explaining. Because you needed to integrate. That's why. It was like you had fragmentation from how you were brought up. Spirit says passion is an important part of life. People think that they don't need love, that they don't need the emotionals, but they need it. Spirit says it's very important. It's because, again, we can then go with the flow of life. We get our support through the passions for life. And again, you can't control anyone, but you can control you by emotionally shutting off and directing your energy and really making sure your cup is full all the time, to like co-creating with Spirit. And again, seeing Spirit work through you, through gut, intuition, inner knowing. And when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Spirit works also through your environment. So you always feel loved, you always feel supported, you always feel guided, and you're rooted in the earth, that you're a spiritual being having a human experience grounded in the earth, but not a part of the earth. And you do that by giving and receiving of love through your free will. Spirit says when you get there, then you're again the energy of abundance. And while you're creating yourself, you are meeting people, but you're balanced. You're not giving them too much. It's like you're not giving all of it away. Like again, and like, well, let me just treat you the way I want to be treated. No. Spirit says, I'm a jealous God. In God's hands, we leave off. Trust in life, and it's implicit. God's greater knowing and greater love guides your heart and your choices. Your faith is steady and remain true to your light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. So again, we know that the universe is an extension of God because God created the world with its voice. So understand you also have that energy inside of you. That energy is just the energy of love. So all routes and all religions actually will take you to that energy of love. And the whole point is that it's just all about oneness, that we're connected to each other, and we're connected to like this higher power that connects us and the universe. And so when we're in alignment with this energy, we're going to be abundant. We're going to be clear. We are clear conduits for spirit to work through. And spirit, again, is ubiquitous, is omniscience, omnipresence, and omni is omniscience, omnipresent, omnipotent. So it's everywhere, including inside of you. So when we're clear of our spiritual blockages, it makes it very easy for that prana, that chi, well, again, that's also spirit, to give us life and to work through us. When we have spiritual blockages, we are holding that stress in our body, and it's making it difficult for us to really function because, again, where our chakras are, we have endocrine glands. So the psychological and the emotional imbalances create physical imbalances. So when we see our spiritual blockages play out within our relationships, we have to say, how can I alchemize that energy? Because you're the alchemist of your life. You're the healer of your life. You're the creator of your life. You're the CEO of your life. And so Spirit says, if you're the CEO of your life and you were running this gigantic company, you wouldn't have that much time. So again, we're not CEOs, but it's to be busy within our life to create our life. So we are our CEOs so that we can then, become part of this collective consciousness of love while also, being balanced within, our relationships. So we are in that process right now, by the way. We are evolving into higher states of consciousness. It's just the world is also purging like a lot of negativity that we weren't even aware of. Unfortunately, we were a little bit ignorant because we get caught up in our own lives, or we felt that we couldn't do anything about it. We actually can. We have spiritual sovereignty. And if we create ourselves and we become that energy of love, then again, we can create our own heaven on earth. And that's the promise. And I think that that's the route that we're all pretty much going in. We just have to stay positive and really hone in our spiritual sovereignty to make it work for us so that we can be abundant and live, healthy and happy lives. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will be on again tomorrow. Be true to you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.